Hello, welcome back to Storytime. We're going to be reading a really special book today. It's a pop-up book. There's also a surprise at the end. It's called Flower Fairies' Magical Moonlight Feast. High up in their leafy hideaway, treetop flower fairies gaze at the sun setting against a rose-pink sky. "I don't feel like going to bed just yet," says Yew. "If only we had a party to go to," says Pear Blossom. He thought for a moment. "I know! Let's have a midnight feast beneath my tree!" Excited whispers echo through the branches as the planning begins. "We'll send invitations on my winged seeds," says Sycamore. "But how will all the fairies find us?" he wonders aloud. Two glowing fireflies hovering nearby join in. "We'll provide a guiding light, and we've plenty of friends who will help us." The treetop fairies cheer. They can't wait to see all their fairy friends. Dear fairies, you are cordially invited to a magical moonlight feast under the pear blossom tree at midnight. "I've never seen a firefly before," says Brown Ivy, crawling on the moss. "Is that one?" he asks, pointing to a red bug with spots. "No," laughs the Lily of the Valley. "Fireflies are pretty flying beetles that glow. Fairies use them as lanterns after sundown." "Look, there's one," says the Lily of the Valley as she spots a firefly hiding under a leaf. All over Flower Fairyland, winged seeds float on the evening wind. Flower fairies lift their hands to catch them. Gorse asks his friend to come to the midnight feast, and she agrees with a sweet kiss. A pair of dragonflies carry an invitation to Iris. "Thank you, friends, and you must come with us," she says. Even the mice are invited. Cottongrass hears the hum of his friends, the bees. "Of course you can come to the feast," he says. "Bring some honey." All the other fairies gather woodland treats for the midnight party. Chestnuts, mulberries, crabapples, a wonderful feast. Many of the fairies are still working. "It's 10 o'clock. Not long until the banquet," says an excited fairy, blowing his fluffy clock. "Tansy, put down your sewing," says Horned Poppy. "Everyone, time to get ready." Whatever the occasion, flower fairies like to look their best. Hidden in the hedgerow, they try on outfits fit for a nighttime feast. Sweet Pea helps her baby sister put on a bonnet. Wild Cherry helps her friends try on new dresses, and Sweet Chestnut helps the other fairies choose party shoes. A group of young fairies rush over to ask King Cup if they can stay up to go to the feast. "Just this once, can we?" they say in unison. King Cup laughs and gives a hearty nod. Some of the fairies look at the sky and wonder whether to stay home as it's getting dark. "We won't be scared with the light of the fireflies to guide us," says Shepherd's Purse. "We're happy you could all come," says Acorn. "It's only a minute until midnight. Nearly time to begin," says Sycamore. "But first let's thank our friends who made this party possible. 3 cheers for the fireflies!" All the fairies cheer, and the fireflies glow even brighter than before, lighting up the sky like stars. At last, it's only 5 seconds until the feast can begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, midnight! The end. Thanks for reading with me. Now we have a craft. We're going to be making a fairy table fit for any midnight feast. Here's what you'll need. A flat piece of bark. It's probably not going to be perfectly flat, but the flatter it is, the easier it will be to balance things on top. Some glue, 4 sticks that are about the same size and pretty straight. If you have trouble with the sticks, you can always balance the bark on 2 rocks that are about the same size. That's actually a lot easier, but the table will be a little lower. And any natural materials that you can find. Look for nutshells, leaves, flowers, bits of twigs, whatever you think a fairy would set the table with. First take your bark and set it upside down on a table. Then get your sticks or rocks ready and put a little bit of glue on the end. Stick one down on every corner of the table. If you're using glue that takes a while to dry, you'll probably have to prop them up. When they're mostly dry, flip the table over and check to see if it balances okay. You can wiggle the legs around a little until it works. If it's still uneven, you can always glue a little bit of extra wood on the bottom of the shortest legs. And now for the most fun part. Use all the materials you found in your yard to set the table for a fairy feast. I used acorn caps and nutshells for plates, cups, and bowls, leaves for napkins and placemats, some flowers for decoration, and even filled the bowls with things like blueberries, a drop of honey, and some beech nuts I found. I also added a tiny seashell and a sugar cube. You can even pour the fairies a drink of water if you want. Make a pitcher by rolling up a leaf. And there you have it, a table fit for a fairy's magical midnight feast. I'm sure you all did a great job. There's no right way to make this, so just look at what you were able to find outside and use your imagination. I'm sure it will come out great. Thanks for joining me for story time. We're going to do a quick little song about the Buttercup Fairy, and that's it. I'll see you next week. Bye! "'Tis I whom children love the best, my wealth is all for them. For them is set each glossy cup upon each sturdy stem. O little playmates whom I love, the sky is summer blue, and meadows full of buttercups are spread abroad for you.